two departures to talk about today. One being a permanent one and one a loan move. So I thought I'll just quickly do a little video just sort of highlighting the fact that two players have left the club. And then we'll sort of leave a little teaser at the end for my next video to come up, which should be hopefully tomorrow. But we'll see how well that goes. But yeah, the biggest bit of news that came out from this morning, Blackpool announced the signing of Sunderland midfielder Elliot Embleton on a 2-year contract with the club option of another year. But of course that means he leaves Sunderland after a 19-year stay on Wearside. And he'd had 92 appearances for Sunderland, which I didn't actually realise it was anywhere near that many. And he contributed 11 goals and 9 assists. And of course, one of the biggest moments and one of the loveliest moments was when he basically took on half of the Wycombe team at Wembley in the 2022 playoff final, and ended up scoring a goal past David Stockdale. And that was, I bet you for him, that would have been a really sweet moment. He obviously had history of scoring in the playoffs because he scored with Blackpool against Oxford for Blackpool the year before. I can't remember if he scored at Wembley for Blackpool in their win over Lincoln, but either way, I thought I'd just quickly give my thoughts on it, but I want to quickly highlight what Elliot Embleton said in the statement. Jam Sarni's video, go and watch it if you haven't already, because he goes in more in depth with Embleton, but I wanted to quickly give my 2 cents on it. But I'll quickly read Elliot Embleton's quote on Sunderland's website. Sunderland has been my life since I joined at the age of 6. Growing up, I used to go to games at the Stadium of Light with my family and dream that one day I will be fortunate enough to play a first-team game. Words will never be able to describe that feeling when it happened, but not just that. To score in the playoff final at Wembley is something I will never forget. I am proud to have played a small part in Sunderland's history, but now is the right time to move on. I will be forever a Sunderland fan, and I look forward to coming to games as a supporter very soon. You'll be welcome back, mate. To the many people behind the scenes who helped me along the way, and to the fans, thank you. And of course, the end of the statement, all associated with SCFC, thank Elliot for his contribution to the club and wish him well on the next chapter of his career. Now, I think the big thing to say is that with Embleton, I've been of the opinion that I think Embleton probably did need to move on. And I do believe that Elliot Embleton, for me, for any Blackpool fans watching, I mean, you don't really need me to describe Embleton, you've seen him for yourselves. But, like, he's more than good enough for top-end League One if you can keep him fit. And I would say even probably a mid-table, bottom-half championship. I actually think he's got more than enough to contribute at that sort of level. But the level Sunderland should be looking at now... get a striker, please. The level we should be looking at this season, for me, is a minimum of top 6. And I don't really care. And it's Europe. If you disagree, that's fine. But in my opinion, I don't really care if anyone thinks that's not realistic, as I think it should be. I think with a good striker in that team, particularly if we keep Clark, I think our team's more than good enough to do it. But I don't see Embleton of that standard, unfortunately for him. And of course, the problem is, ever since he got that freak injury at Hull, he was out for the rest of the 22-23 season, then went on loan to Derby last year, but then the loan was cut short because of injury. And it's a real shame for the guy. But I really do hope, with Blackpool, I think it's a perfect move for Embleton, as perfect as he can be. He is at a club he knows, he's under a head coach he knows, it's an environment he's succeeded in before, and League One, if you keep him fit, he's just too good for that level, really. So Elliot Embleton, I think, it's a really good signing for Blackpool. It's a really good move for Embleton, and crucially, I think it's good for him to move on, because he needs to go out and play somewhere. He's 24 years of age, I believe. So, yeah. Well, best of luck to Elliot, mate. Elliot, yourself, mate. Best of luck to you at Blackpool. A lot of Sunderland. I quite like Blackpool as a club as well, so I really do hope Embleton smashes it there, and you'll be welcome. Of course, you'll be welcome back at the stadium. I like you as a supporter soon enough. But yeah, fair play, mate. And the last thing I'll quickly touch on before exiting the video is Matete. He's confirmed to go on loan to Bolton for the 24-25 season. So he went to Sunderland in 2022, we got promoted. He went to Plymouth in 2023, we got promoted. He went to Oxford earlier this year, and granted, he came back in through injury a bit early, but Oxford went on to get promoted. Put money on Bolton to go up this season. I quite like Bolton. They should be in the Championship, really. But, yeah, anyways, yeah, I think it's a good move for Matete. It's obviously been clear from Labrisse's plans that Matete wasn't going to be involved, along with Hamir and Bennett, when they were at Hartlepool. And, yeah, I think it's a good move for him, and I think Bolton have got themselves a really good gem of a signing for League One. So we'll wait and see. My thing is, next year, in a year's time, Matete will have a year left on his contract, and I imagine next summer we probably will sell him. And that happens. Like when players will outgrow what we're doing, we'll outgrow some players. And I think with Matete, it's just a case of that. But yeah, as you guys know, my next video coming up will be the Championship predictions for the 2024-25 season. I've pretty much got my table sorted. It's going to be a fun one to go through. But yeah, guys, if you're watching the video and you're not a regular subscriber, hit the subscribe button as always, and like the video if you wish to, and share it around if you would like. Trying to get to 6k subscribers. I'm nearly at 5,200, so we're slowly creeping up the ladder, but we will get there, I'm sure. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe. And the last word, to end it the same way the club ended their statement, go well, Embo.